What we are about to do was illegal in our homeland. It's one of many factors that came into play when we considered relocating 750 miles from where we were. That said, you know, the land of the free, so-called land of the free, has a lot of freedoms. I'm not saying it doesn't. And underneath that federal government, there's 50 individual states which can make their own rules. It's supposed to be. But it's amazing how many things I'm not free to do in this country that if I just cross the border into Mexico, I can do. Just cross the border into a different country, often, I can do. Not saying people from other countries can't come here and experience more freedoms in some other areas, but it's interesting. What I'm about to do was illegal where we lived. My wife arranged for us to be able to go get something from somebody. We're going to take a little drive over there. We're going to pay them some cash, USD, for the stuff, and then we're going to bring it back here. This would have been very illegal in Wisconsin when we lived there. To the best of my knowledge, it still is to this day. And in fact, if we asked this person to bring the stuff over here, that would be illegal. Now we can go pick it up, but they couldn't drop it off. It's very, very interesting how much freedoms we have, you know, when it comes to something like this. So I think my wife's got everything set up. I think we're ready to go. I'm not going to show you where we're going or who we're getting this from, but I'm going to show you what we get after this transaction and travel is done. And then I'll have my wife tell you a little bit about it as well, and why, even though this would be illegal where we're from, why we choose to do this here. So we're at the place. My wife's heading in. Once we get it, we're gonna get home as quick as we can. And then once we get it back inside, we'll show you guys. Man, it's a hot one today. I think they got heat advisories, maybe up to 108 degrees. I don't know. I'm gonna let her take care of this and see if somebody comes to the door or not. Oh, here we go. Alright, she's in. So, did it go alright?
Yep, it went well.
Quick and easy, in and out?
Yep.
Now, if I remember right, back in our native Wisconsin, what we just did, what we're doing right now, illegal, right?
Correct.
Correct, okay. And if they were to grab this stuff and bring it over to our house, that would be illegal too, right?
Yes.
Okay, but we legally can go pick it up and buy it from them and then bring it back to our own house here?
Yes.
Okay, did we know that before we moved down here? That we could do things like this here?
I don't remember, I think so.
I thought so too. I thought that was part of, you know, the overall looking picture of freedoms we could then have if we moved. Alright, well, we'll get it home, we'll get it inside the house, and then we'll show. But alright, and I'm glad you met this lady and got a hold and found this source for us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It works out really well.
Definitely, I like it. It's good.
Son, help your mom get that stuff in the house. So, darling, what is the mystery illegal in our homeland adventure we just went on?
Okay, I'll show you.
What is that?
Raw milk.
Raw milk. And why do we like raw milk?
Because of its nutrient denseness, and it's good for your teeth, your bones, and all sorts of goodness. So.
And we like it too.
All sorts of home goods.
Even though we just went for a ride, you can see the cream on the top. Our children, what do you guys like to do with that?
Shake it into butter.
Shake it into butter. They'll take the cream off the top. An interesting thing, back in our native Wisconsin when we lived there, you could drink raw milk if you had a source, meaning on your property. And you could have someone over and they could drink raw milk while they were at your place. But they couldn't take any raw milk from you and transport it back to their place or bring some over or things like that. And what do you think about that?
That's kind of crazy.
That is kind of crazy, you know. And what did you realize recently when you were breastfeeding one of our children?
That we drank milk, raw milk from the beginning, and it makes it feel, I guess they make it feel really strange to be drinking raw milk like it's wrong for you, but we
So you don't pasteurize your milk before you give it to your babies?
No. And it's so good for us.
So yeah, we just picked up 4 gallons, and we go through that, you know, rather quickly. It's amazing too, compared to what you pay at the store for a gallon of milk right now. The raw milk industry, as far as the people we know locally, very comparable. Where sometimes you get, you know, the store milk like dirt cheap, and then this would be more expensive, but they're kind of neck and neck right now, which makes it nice.
Yes. So I'm excited. It's really good, and the children enjoy drinking it. Just have a glass of milk here or there, or with cereal in the morning, things like that. I haven't made cheese yet. I want to make some mozzarella cheese, but I haven't got there yet. Soon.
Yeah.
And then my neighbor encouraged me. Her and her sisters make different kinds of cheeses. They make cheddar and some chive and garlic and different things like that. And their last batch of cheddar they let us try, and it was so delicious.
So besides butter, what have we done with our milk?
I've done yogurt. I think that's it.
You've done kefir too, haven't you?
Oh yes, yogurt, kefir, and I think that's about it.
Right. And you know, using milk as
Smoothies,
milk is
milk.
good for us. I mean,
Yeah, but nothing further than that. So
this is just kind of one of those things that, you know, it's amazing how many things, even in the so-called land of the free, are just illegal, and how much can change from state to state. I think a lot more should kind of be able to change from state to state, where there would be less federal regulation and the states would actually be their own states like they were supposed to be. But that's kind of another subject. Basically, though, do your homework, do your research if you're considering a move. You know, if you moved from here, where you go pick this up somewhere, and you moved up to Wisconsin, you know, and you tried to do it, you wouldn't realize without researching all the laws that now all of a sudden you're doing something illegal, which is just interesting. It's crazy, but it is reality.
yeah.
We got to enjoy some raw milk up in Wisconsin, but we didn't do it illegally, did we?
Did we? You tell me.
We had raw milk up in Wisconsin. I forget exactly how we did it. But with it being so hot, we had to get this in the house quick, traveled with our cooler bags, and we got to get that in the fridge now. And we'll see you next time.
Mom out.